Yeah, let me send it over to Greg real quick. He's got to bounce because of 5 on the floor, but I know you're going to talk about PJ Tucker. And before you leave, just give the people. I know you can calm people down. You have that power. You're like the voice of Heat Twitter sometimes. Calm people down on this PJ Tucker news. What do you think about it?
You know what's funny? When I used to have the profile pic with the Riley Godfather Avi, and I was like Lefty Leif, I think this is so arrogant. I bet people hated me for this kind of shit. I put in my Twitter bio, spiritual advisor to the Miami Heat fan. Like that's the angle I was going for. So I'm glad you caught on to that, Sean. No. Why would PJ not opt out? If he gets his just standard raise based on his years of service, he's going to make more money. Just think about your normal job at work. Like if you had to submit a paper so that you could get your standard increase for the next year, would you turn in the paper? Would you, scan the PDF document and send it, or put it in through the portal of your, company? Yes, you would. So it's pretty standard that he's doing that. I'm not reading into the timing of it at all. I think that I've heard Philadelphia is going to offer their non-taxpayer mid-level. They'd love to have him. That was something that before he opted out, that was an off-the-floor subscriber nugget that got dropped there. So, there's definitely a market for him, but they can give him 8.2 or so, maybe a bit more than that. Give him 3 years. Security's there. Jimmy loves him. He's wearing his jersey when they were playing in the gym the other day. Everybody relax. They're fine. Here's the key words. They're fine.
So Greg calmed down, everybody's nerves. I think when people saw the tweet come out from Shams, the reaction was like he opted out because he is leaving. Like PJ is gone. He has left us. He's going to do the whole, what's the thing where the athletes write the letter. It comes out tomorrow. It's going to be this peaceful goodbye to Miami. Yeah. That's not what's going on. Like Greg said, it's a business decision. It's the smart thing for PJ to do. It gives him more options, all those things. So when you're looking at this, there was a really good tweet from Brian Goins, who's from Miami Heat Beat. So PJ, he declined a $7.4 million option. So if he had opted in, that's what he would have made next year. It would have been a 1-year deal. Brian tweeted out, and he's very good with the cap, so I trust his numbers and everything. The Heat could sign him to a $26.46 million 3-year contract. It would be a non-bird, and they're not using their mid-level exception. That's a pretty key note there, because if you can not use the mid-level on him, you can use it for other people. That would break down to be 8.4 for his first year, 8.82, 9.24 in the third year. You don't have to make those guaranteed, so it could be team options, partially guaranteed type stuff. So he may not get that full money of $26 million. Greg mentioned most contenders don't have enough money to beat that. He doesn't seem like a guy that you would probably spend more than $8.5 million on, but I guess, he's a guy a contender wants. He's not a guy that the Kings are going to go grab, or the Pacers are going to go grab with their cap space. So most teams can really only give him $6.3 million. The only other thing that this really changes is that PJ's probably not going to be involved in any sort of sign and trades or trades that we talk about, when we go down that path. It basically eliminates that if it were ever even a consideration.
Yeah.
So how do you guys think this is going to work out over the next couple of weeks? You think PJ's back? You think there's a certain price level that Miami wants to stay at? How do you feel about that, Tony?
Just run that question to me one more time, because I lost connection.
So I said, with all of that being said, I don't know where you lost your connection, but
PJ Tucker, how you feel?
PJ's extent, PJ opted out. How do you feel about that 3-year deal? Is there a number you wouldn't pay him, or is it PJ, we got to have you?
I think the team construction is really important this year. It's so valuable to make sure that you're able to deal with the cap part of it and the completion of the roster part of it. Both of those things have to matter. Having the MLE for 2 guys is so freaking important for this team, just because they have no one that fits those mid salary cap numbers. There's no 5, 6, 8, 10, $12 million salary guys. They're not on this roster. It is minimums, or it's 20 millions, not including Duncan Robinson, right? He's the only contract that fills that category. So I love the idea of signing PJ for everything that we can below the MLE. And I don't know where all this outrage has come from, because it's what we've been saying all year. it was always PJ would take the years. It's better for him, the player who's aging. It's better for us, the organization, to split the salary over more years. There's no reason that this deal would ever get done with him opting into his player option. So I didn't get the outrage. I don't know where that came from or all the frustration or confusion about what was going on. But yeah, no, everything short of the MLE, man. I can't give him that. Not this year, not the way that we need every inch of salary, every inch of mechanism to create a 15-man roster that's better than it was last year. But anything short of that, he's getting every single penny.
Yeah, I agree with what you said. I didn't understand it. It would have been great for the Heat to get him to just opt in. That would have been best case scenario because you have that lower salary. And, when Greg talked about every 100,000 matters at this point. But this is what it was expected. Brian, what did you think about it?
Yeah.
The PJ thing is very simple to me. As Brian posted in his tweet, you offer him the 3 years, $26 million. And if he tells you to go fuck yourself, I'm going to make more money elsewhere, then so be it, because I'm not using the mid-level exception. If he wants to get, if he can get 40 million for 3 years and have a blast. But, I think that it's going to be a non-issue. I think that they're just going to keep him and he's going to sign for 3 years, 26 million. Maybe the last year is partial guaranteed, which I think that, should be something that the Heat consider, but whatever. Like, you sign him for those years, you're really signing him for that first year of the deal. And then after that, you figure it out because it becomes a tradable contract if you need it anyway. So for me, it's like you get him for the 3 years, 26. Don't use your mid-level exception because they're going to need that to split into two players or potentially get just one if they really want to go that route. But I think it's a non-issue. And if someone else wants to overpay and just pay more money than you can, or than you're willing to, then whatever. You draw a line in your sand, and line in the sand, you have your number, and that is what it is. But I think PJ Tucker's coming back because Pat Riley pretty much confirmed that he's coming back in his presser. Like, they're going to have him back. It's just a matter of, are they going to do it with the exception that, or the raise that he's allowed to get, or the mid-level exception? And you're hoping that it can just be the 26 million for 3 years.
Let me ask this to you guys, and you can be short with this. If he's offered that full 3-year contract that Brian tweeted out, 26.4 million, basically 8.4, 8.8, 9.2. But he says, we're not doing partial guarantees. We're not doing team options. I want 3 fully guaranteed years. Yes or no? What do you guys do?
Still do it.
Yes.
Still do it. Whatever. Figure that here, you earned it. We figure it out later. Like, look, this is an organization that it has extended players that they probably shouldn't have in the past or for too long. And they were able to wiggle themselves out of it if it got dark. So, like, just do it, and then you figure it out later. Especially when your president is 77 years old. Like, who cares about 3 years from now at this point?
Multi-purpose contract. The players earned it, and 2, it's a tradable piece. You really need those $8 to $12 million salaries on the roster.
Yeah, I think it's to the point of trading it, because if he's 39 when he's making 9.2 and he's not very serviceable, that's a tradable contract. It's like average salary. I know that sounds like a lot of money, but like, it's an average contract in the NBA at this point. So it is what it is. So I agree on that one too.